Alright, what is up people? This is Donnie from Think Make Repeat, and today we are going to talk about the Hellfire. This is the second time I'm recording that video because I did some updates on the model and I've painted the first one. So I'm going to quickly go over how I painted it and how to assemble the new version and everything. So as you can see, these are a little different. This is actually slightly bigger than the one now. I noticed after putting this together, it's a little too big, so this is 5% smaller. With the painting, we'll go over that real quickly. It's quite straightforward. Actually, let me pull out the paints. So these are the basic paints I used. I always start with my filler primer. I put many coats of that on to fill in as many of the Z layers as I can. And then this guy, this is Rust-Oleum, just brilliant blue gloss. You don't need to get gloss, it's just what they had. I actually would have preferred not to have gloss, but it is what it is. So that's basically what it is. I masked all these black parts up that I just didn't want to get that in over here, and then down in here, over here. You can kind of paint it however you wanted. This is the way I kind of saw it, and I actually didn't have this exact model, this grip. I wanted the Malawang grip because I'm a parts person and I wanted the proper grip on it. The gun I actually had in the game came with like a bandit grip or something, so I couldn't see what this exactly looked like, so I kind of estimated, but left those black, and that was just done with a black basic flat primer. I don't have that out here, it's somewhere in there, but that's what that was. So all blue, hold that tape off, taped off the yellow parts, paint, and then that's just this normal yellow, and all this is in the listing. That's that normal yellow I use on a lot of things. There might even be some fluorescent in there, now I'm looking at it. I probably mixed it a little bit with this guy. That's neon, it glows in the dark. I didn't know that, but it does. So all that yellow is like that. You have the orange parts, I just masked it off, and I did spray everything, so that's sprayed in with an airbrush. Everything's sprayed on except for these cans. And then touch up is just kind of with a brush sometimes. There's a little bit of red right here. That's this, you can really use any red, and then I just put the white over top with a brush. And I wound up taping all this off with the white to spray it. The last thing that was left after that, and the same with the orange, I just taped that stuff off and just sprayed it. The last thing is I did cell shade this one. I don't always cell shade my guns, but this one I did. So I'm getting a little bit better at that, so I'll probably start utilizing it more. So I just basically take a very fine brush, kind of like this, put a little black, and just kind of drizzle as little bit of it on there as I can. I almost like it when it's the brush isn't wet and it's hard. It's almost like a pencil at that point. You can pick up paint and kind of like give it very organic type of shapes to it. And then you just go with the white, and a lot of times that's just near the black stripes you just did. That'll be, you do the same thing in white. So that is the basic instructions of how to paint this. It's not really hard because most of it's blue. So you're just pretty much, and I always try to do this as much as I can, just use a rattle can so it's easy for people. That's going to be that the painting. So as you can see here, I took everything apart. It's not all the way taken apart. There's still pegs in here. And just note, you have two different sizes of pegs, one fat, one thinner. It's just twice as big. And we'll start to put it together. So where we're going to start is this piece right here. This is the front barrel, the second piece back. And where we're going to go is we're going to take this guy. These come in halves, and this comes out. So what we're going to do is just slide that trigger in there and just put that peg in there, and now we have this assembled. This one's the same way. It just has a peg in here. You can see it moves. So this one's already put together. So we'll just keep that aside. This is where the grip goes. Just note that this part is a little fragile, so be careful. I've never had one break off, but if it does, just glue it back. Should go on quite easily. So we have this. I'm just going to insert it in the cavity. And just note, I'm doing a dry fit here. I always recommend doing a dry fit just to make sure everything works. You might have to sand some things, file some things to get them to fit perfectly. I try to get it as close as I can, but it should fit in. You might have to work it a little bit. It's nothing out of the ordinary with 3D printing. So we have this part, and actually this is in here. I'm going to take this fat peg, put it in the back there. You can see it goes in at an angle now. It used to be straight like that. Now it goes in like this. And what we're going to do is, you have the hole here. I'm going to put that one in there, make sure it fits. And then since these ones are skinnier, just a little bit easier to wiggle in. We have this front part, the barrel, and this, I don't even call this a barrel. This is the mini barrel is what I call this. There's a little recessed cavity in there. Just pop it in. And then you have your actual barrel. You have a ridge here, and you have a groove here. There's also a small groove in this guy that this small barrel goes in. So you can just push it down on there, and it fits right into that groove, and now everything is solid. And then this fits back in here. It has a groove here, and then 2 pegs. I'm only using one right now on this, just because it's demonstration purposes. And then that goes there. The next part is we want to grab a fat peg and go like this. And since this is skinnier, we're going to start here. And sometimes I kind of like lift this off. You can do this with the glue. You put the glue down. It's still setting at this point. So then you put glue here on all your pegs and stuff. And then you can get it to that hole, and you can see how things just kind of lock in. It's just easier sometimes, you know, figuring out where the lever point's in. This time I had this one in, and like I said, I moved it forward so it was easier to go in. That is the bulk of this gun. You can see here, this is super easy. There's 4 pegs to put on, 4, and that's the last main part. And the good thing about it is it sits very nicely. No stand needed on this guy. This is the sight. It has a little rail. This has a hole. So what I do is I kind of back it in, and it clicks in. You've got this guy. This just has a peg and a hole. That just fits in there. So you can see here, this chamfers down, and this also has a chamfer down. That's where you line that up. These will hang off the side, and then you have the flat part at the top. This is that peg that has a cut out of it. The reason it has a cut out of it is because another peg goes through that area. So you can see that's what it looks like. I don't want this guy to fall. The flat part goes at the top. Let's just get that peg in there. Slots in just like that. As you can see, this is a circle. This part is further down. This part is flat, so when it prints flat down, but that's also the front side. And you can only stick this in one way. If you try to stick it in the other way, it actually won't align, which is good. So you go like that. Then this peg slots through the both of them, and then we'll link on the circle part. So that's the circle. And then you have the last part. This part prints in 2 pieces. This is just what I call the side box. And it has this little guy, this little, I don't know what it is, little knob fits on the top. And then this one takes a fat peg. You put that fat peg in there, and you can see exactly where that fat peg will go. It slides in, and you can see even the recesses there. I usually put glue on that as well, and it just fits in just like that. So that is the basic assembly of the Hellfire. If you guys have any questions, feel free to reach out, and thanks for watching.